Hello and welcome to Driven by Purpose with me, Armin Jamula. This podcast is dedicated, for sharing stories that inspire and challenge people in their lives and their journeys of entrepreneurship. One such individual is with me today, Surabhi Shenoy. She is a shepreneur turned CEO coach. Hi, Surabhi.
Hello.
Welcome.
Nice to be here.
Nice to see you and really, really excited for all the answers that I'm going to hear from you and some things that I'm going to learn from you, because I am a CEO and sometimes I do find myself being, stuck in a pattern as such, as we were talking about. And I'd love to hear your experience. You've exited 2 companies and this is your 3rd venture, so to speak.
Yes.
So let's start by talking about your journey. Can you share with me and with us how you transitioned from being an entrepreneur to a CEO coach?
So my transition is from engineer to entrepreneur and then entrepreneur to CEO coach. And I want to share why I emphasize on engineer to entrepreneur transition, because even today when I'm coaching, and the reason why I wanted to start coaching is because when I started my journey, I think I was a pure absolute idiot. I did not know how to run a business. I did not know how to grow a business. Okay. I thought if I write really good code, if I build a great product, customers are happy and my business will suddenly grow. And then it took me some time to realize that that's not how it works. I have to really intentionally, purposefully decide how I want to grow my business and then take action towards those goals. And that's why that transition is important. And the second part is after entrepreneur to CEO coach, because, I have 2 passions. One is building businesses and second is teaching. So what better combination than this, right? So I'm privileged to have that in my day-to-day life now, that I'm living my passion, I'm living my purpose. Feels good.
That's lovely. So on a number at the top of your head, how many people have you trained or coached over the years?
I think I've always been coaching. I've always been mentoring. Even so much at my workplace, there used to be a kind of a joke that this is not a training institute. We have a business here to run. Why am I spending so much time teaching and educating my team? But I must say that here, my core team stayed with me somewhere between 7 to 13 years. So, and when I had my moments where it felt like everything was falling apart, those are the people who actually carried me through along with the business. So that's the goodwill that you create, that's the value you create, and it always pays back in some way, right? I mean, you don't do it for that, but it happens.
So, you've also mentored and you are on a journey of mentoring tech entrepreneurs and other entrepreneurs. Yeah. You have specifically mentored them in the aspect of bootstrapping, right?
And scaling.
And scaling, yes. Bootstrapping and scaling, and then trying to exit their companies or aiming to exit their companies. What do you think are the most common challenges that they are facing or they have faced in your experience?
I mean, if I have to put it in like one all-encompassing statement, then it would be many times lack of clarity. And that clarity comes because we don't really take time to realize, understand who we are and what is the business that we are trying to build. Who do we want to serve? And then strategically taking steps to actually achieve that. So for me, the values, right? That's the most important thing. And people think values, you write your values and your purpose and your mission statement by brainstorming, sitting in the boardroom, and what should look good on the walls of our break room. And it's not that. I think values are not aspirational. Values are who you are. You just take time to verbalize it and put it out to know. So if it's a small business, and every business starts small, and it is founder driven, entrepreneurs driven, then who they are within themselves is very important to understand.
And the second question, or the third question that we were going to discuss, was how important is it to instill your purpose in your company, right? So, but you also mentioned previously that values is. So what's the difference, and how do you merge all of them and work in synergy?
I think values is who you are, and your decision making happens when there are trade-offs, right? And many decisions will have trade-offs. If I do this, this will not be in my favor.
Yeah.
And you have to always choose. How do you make those choices? Those choices are defined by values. Purpose is something starts from here, but what you are trying to achieve in the world. So if you're even, for example, Amazon, right? What's the purpose? To be an store which is everything store, to give up best prices to customers, the cheapest, lowest prices. And if you look at Amazon, or even I have actually worked with AWS Cloud, their idea is that year on year we will reduce the prices. Typically, custom providers will always increase the prices. That's not how they are operating. So the purpose is to give the cheapest, not cheap as in price-wise cheap, but yes, price-wise cheap, but good services at a lesser price. So purpose is something that you do outside, but they're driven by values.
You exited 2 companies, built and exited. And what were the triumphs that you really enjoyed in that journey? The 2 triumphs, if we have to identify 2.
For me, the triumph moments were when they were, my journey, and there were times when everything was falling apart. And at that time, when you realize that the people you nurtured, the customers you created goodwill with, all your stakeholders come together to support you and carry you through, that's the time you realize this is what I've created. And this is the true value of what we are creating here. And I think that feeling is so, it gives you such sense of satisfaction of all the drama and the trauma that we go through while building businesses, right, every day. That's a defining moment, I think, that, okay, this is why, and I can talk about profits, I can talk about revenue, I can talk about, we had all big 4 kind of customers, I can talk about all of that. But I think in the heart, this is what really matters finally. And this is why I would build another business, and this is why I would help somebody to build their businesses, because I want them to feel this feeling. It's so nice.
Can we talk a little bit about that point in time when it was, the most challenging for you in your business?
So, engineer to entrepreneur, co-founded business, the first company, tech company, which is 20 years. I mean, I exited after 20 years. That was co-founded along with my husband. So, me and my husband, I think we met when I was 17.
Wow.
And got married when we were 25. And then co-founded the first company, tech company. I continued working outside even though I was a founder on the wall. Because, husband, wife working together at age 25, I don't think we were confident. We can't fix a bulb in the house. How are we going to run the company? You feel like that. And, but then there is inherent trust, right, with each other.
Yes.
And the alignment of the goal that we want to make this success, we want to really create something that is bigger than us, better than us, more meaningful. With that alignment, then you compromise, you understand, you kind of define your own swim lanes. Okay, this is what you do, this is what I do. And it worked well. Co-founded another company which was a health and wellness setup, very retail, very service focused. That was in 2007. Had that for 4 years, grew the membership base, subscriber base, and took it to a certain number. That was my extreme transformational experience from engineer to entrepreneur, because I was at the deep end of the waters with sharks, extremely competitive. And with that then, when everything was working well, 2012, exited that health and wellness center. ROI was better in a tech company. And went back full focus, learned a lot of things while exiting the health wellness center. Because first pitch to a buyer was miserable, very bad. Like, I was talking passion and he was asking for balance sheet, and he was so dry, right? Like, numbers batao. Sorry. And took that experience to tech company, started building, imbibing, putting that together. 2017, when everything was really nice, we were building products, creating IP, scaling very aggressively almost. It's at that time, in an accident, he passed away. And in 40 minutes, my life changed. And so is many people. And, for all employees, we will have a notice period. For all employees, we will have some kind of right documentation, what you're doing and how you're doing things. Handover, knowledge transfer. And there's nothing here. There's no notice period. There is no handover. And because he was doing it, I never bothered to look at that side of the business, like finance, compliance, legal. I left it to him, and he left this part on me, right? So that's how we distributed our work. So it all came crashing down on me, one person, and I had to do a lot of learning. And I think I want to add a sentence here, and that's people think that when something like this happens, it's a very, they feel sorry, which is true. I mean, I had my immense grief. I still think it's not completely done. But trauma can accelerate your learning. I think I went on extreme, as in I was very weak in finance. I did not know how to do it. I'd never done a payroll in my life until then. And I didn't want to fall short. The fear in my head was, by mistake also, I don't want to make a mistake. I don't want my 200 employees to suffer because I didn't know something how to do, right? And that put me on, I was on finance, learning finance on steroids. Get the mentors, get the coaches, learn everything, sit with accounts, sit with auditors. I did not even know what is the right question to ask so that I can get the input. I mean, I was so raw and naive in these things.
So in this experience, if I have to just draw a parallel here, you've learned, and in your 20 years of your entrepreneurship journey, you have imbibed or you have given knowledge, and then this was your time to take knowledge. Has that knowledge that you have imbibed from the coaches that you were working with naturally into your coaching journey?
Yeah, knowledge is knowledge, right? So, and I can even say that people I have coached have also taught me something.
Of course, it's an exchange always.
Yes, it is always. And I always say that it's a thinking partnership. It's not like I know better than them, because how can I know what is in their heart and head, what are their values and how they want to build their business. So it's an exchange from an experienced, capable person. That is, I mean, from my side. So you can talk to your mother, but she won't give you, she will support you always, but she will not give you the advice that you need at this point, or will get into your head, ask the right questions so that you get that clarity. So my mentors helped me a lot.
And they did, didn't they? So have you been able to draw a parallel where, there was an instance or an experience that your mentors helped you at that point when you were in your entrepreneurship journey, and a similar thing happened and you were like, yes, I know how to solve this for you?
Was it?
All the time.
All the time.
Why? Because, when I took reins of my tech company after my husband, I was sitting with my mentor and he asked me one question. I picked up the phone, I called my accounts. Can you answer this? He asked me another question. I went out asking something to HR. Then he asked me another question. I went somewhere else getting information. And he said, what are you doing? People run global brands of such mega size, sitting in one cabin, one chair. They don't run around like you. You need to have a proper MIS, Management Information System, kind of a report, which should come on your desk every month on a specific day. And you should tell what you want to know, what your questions are. That's the smartness on your part. And that's where the journey started for me to understand how to really structure, design an organization, a learning organization and a data-driven organization, so that today I promise my coaching client, I don't like to call them clients, but my people, right? That I will remove all randomness from your decision making. That's my promise, because I will give you a system. Looking at that system, you will know where I stand today, and I know where I'm going to go, I want to go, and what's the path from here to there, without trying too much time, too many options, wasting time and better grab opportunities that come along your way. So yeah, I think if he would not have corrected me, my behavior at that time, I would not have learned that. And because it was so powerful, I think my company's exit, my sale happened because of that document, because of that one presentation, not because of my pitch that came later. I mean, pitch was the first one, but when the buyer saw my MIS report, he knew that we know what we are talking. And this organization is run so systematically, so methodically, and it is founder free. I'm not running the operations. There is a whole team that is running the operation. All I'm doing is bringing the strategy and direction to the company and saying, okay, guys, let's do this. What do you think? So all of that is culminating into my own coaching journey today, as in when I'm talking to founders.
Amazing. So you're talking to founders who are in different legs of their business journey, right? What would you tell someone who's just started off?
In the tech space, of course.
Know yourself, have some kind of slight direction towards your purpose, because otherwise you're just going in multiple directions. Third, I would say very important is invest in yourself, because if you are the founder, your company is your reflection. Even the first co-founder, even the first partner that you're going to bring in is something based on what you believe in, who you are. And 2 of you or 3 of you are going to build the next 10. So if you are weak, so my coaching goes into vision, strategy, skills, and mindset. And as a CEO, we become a CEO, but we are never trained to be a CEO. And then the whole team is looking at us that this person she's going to tell me what to do. And she's thinking, oh God, I don't know what to do. And then the imposter syndrome comes, and then the fear and the doubt start coming in, because you have a couple of, situations, failures. It shouldn't be like that. So I think, invest in yourself and just start.
Comes to my final question. How do you see the role of tech founders evolving in the future, especially in the fast-paced environment? And how do you see women as tech founders evolving?
I think women are doing amazing. And I think overall as an ecosystem is becoming so much purpose-driven. It is not a niche anymore. It is becoming mainstream. And why I'm saying this is, today investors, employees, customers, all of them are looking for how this business is built and driven. It's beyond profit. It's beyond revenue. It's very important. I'm not at all saying that money is not important. It's a priority. But then how do you spend that money? How do you invest it back in your business? And what kind of impact you're trying to create, right? So we didn't hear the words like sustainability. We didn't hear words like inclusion a few years back. Today that's mainstream. Today investor will pay you more money at higher valuation if you're making health food versus some cheap product cookies, which will give more profits maybe. So I think future in the sense is more from within to in without.
Yeah.
Who you are, showing off in many ways, and it's leadership, right? The 5 people that you will hire will finally be following you. And if you know who you are, what you do, and why you do that, it all comes together in a very nice way.
Any last thoughts, Surabhi?
I'm happy to be what I'm doing. The impact is amazing. I think the future of entrepreneurship today, the accessibility, availability is high. One has to get clear on how they want to, but again, no analysis paralysis. Start somewhere and then from there build your empires. And women, yes, I think we are more intuitive, we are more creative. We should leverage that we should own it actually, and then leverage it in the world.
So true, so true. Own it and then leverage it. And then empower others as well, other women as well in the journey, right?
100%. What you're doing, I mean, it's amazing. It's not just for me, but you're building a system. You're building a whole, your world in itself, right? Which is so comforting, so nice.
We're building it together.
Yes.
100%. One in our own roles, in our own swim lanes, as you say. Surabhi, your interview this
this piece has been really, really dear to me, and we've been planning it for so long, right? So finally, it's done and it's concluded, and I can't be more excited than anyone right now to be sharing this, because your journey has, when I spoke to you first, it inspired me so much, and it told me so many things that, you know, in your lowest of lows,
Yeah.
sometimes the biggest of the strengths can prevail.
Absolutely. And I believe that if I can do it, so anybody else can do it. You just need to decide that I want to do it and just get going.
Yeah. Keep inspiring, Surabhi.
Thank you so much, and thank you for having me here. And yeah, we all have something to inspire others for.
Thank you. Thank you. It's a wrap.